Here is everything you need to know about getting your NIN as a foreigner in Nigeria. Hi, my name is Laura, Kenyan, currently living and thriving in Lagos, Nigeria. Welcome back. This is going to be a very short video because the process of registering for NIN is very straightforward and simple. The NIN is a unique number assigned to every citizen and legal resident in Nigeria. Think about it as your national ID card if you're from Kenya, or your social security number if you're from the abroad. It ideally ties all the records of a person in the National Identity Database. It is meant to be the most authentic way of verifying a person's identity in Nigeria. In 2017, the government of Nigeria gazetted a law for the mandatory use of NIN. However, it was not until 2021 that it was really implemented that you could not do a number of things, especially own a SIM card without linking it to your NIN. In 2021, the government issued a directive that all SIM cards must be linked to an NIN. The purpose of this, according to the government, was to boost security around SIM cards. The government gave a deadline and all SIM cards that had not been registered by the deadline were discontinued. So unfortunately, if you're just coming to visit Nigeria, you will not be able to get a SIM card because you need an NIN to register for the SIM card. So what I always recommend to people is, if you're in Nigeria for a short amount of time and you really need the SIM card, then find someone to do the registration for you and give you the SIM card. Foreigners residing in Nigeria for a total of 2 years or more are required to register for their NIN. Now, I have been here going to my 3rd year and I had to register for it. Anyone that is a citizen or a legal resident of Nigeria can get an NIN. Yes, even a child born today can register for NIN and get it. So it is a legal requirement for everybody that stays in Nigeria. You have to have your NIN. So what exactly do you need the NIN for as a foreigner in Nigeria? You will need it to buy a SIM card, you will need it to obtain a driver's license, you will need it to open a bank account if you intend to. If you are planning to study in Nigeria, you will also need to register with it in university or school. If you've been here long enough and you have a residence permit, you will need the NIN to register for your voter's card. Any kind of taxes that you'll have to pay, you will need to use your NIN. And you would also need it for any land transactions, investment transactions. You will need NIN basically for a number of things in Nigeria. Even if you have a child in Nigeria, you need to get a passport for them. Even though you're a foreigner, you will need to submit your NIN for it as well. So how do you get it? Well, there are 2 methods you could go about getting the NIN. Number 1, you could either go to your local government area and get it there. Or number 2, you could use one of the private NIMC enrollment centers that are situated all over the country. The pros of going to a local government is that it will probably cost you nothing because it's meant to be free. But if you go to a privately run NIMC enrollment center, they will charge you about 2,000 naira to get your NIN. And another 2,000 or 3,000 to validate it, which is something I will talk about later. So once you decide where you want to go, then there's 2 ways you could enroll for NIN. The first method is you personally go to the center and you will give out all your details and the person will fill out the form and information for you. The second method is to do a pre-enrollment on the NIMC website, where you will fill the form with all the details required and then you can download it and take it to the enrollment center. Most people prefer to just go directly to the enrollment center so that everything will be done for them. Personally, that's what I did, and that's what I would recommend. If you like the DIY version, please by all means go ahead and do it. The process itself is very simple. It does not take up to 10 minutes to complete registration of NIN. So you will need to carry a number of things if you're going to register for your NIN as a foreigner. The most important thing you need to go with is your passport. Once you have your passport, that's pretty much it, I think. They will ask you a number of questions. So your full name, your current residential address, which country you're from, your gender, just general things that a generic form will ask you. Once you give all this information, the attendant will ask you to confirm them on a screen. So make sure your name is correct, your address is correct, everything about you is correct on the form before you give the go ahead. Because any issue, any problem with your NIN, you will need to go back and correct it, and you would probably need to pay through the nose to get it corrected. So your date of birth, make sure it's correct. Your names are 100% correct. Those are the two important things that you need to make sure are correct. Once you give that information, then they will take your biometrics, they will take your fingerprints, and then they will also take a photograph of like a passport picture of you. And then once that's done, that's it. They will give you a tracking slip of some sort for you to come back and collect it after about 2 or 3 business days. And that's pretty much the process, or so I thought. Now, there is something called validating your NIN, which you will need to do if you intend to use the NIN for any legal transactions, any opening a bank account, buying land, buying cars, anything you need to do, your NIN has to be validated. This is something I did not know. So once the person was done registering me, I thought that was it. So I go open a bank account, and the teller tells me that my NIN is not validated. I have to go back to the local government area, not even the private person that registered it for me. I have to go back to the local government area to validate it. Now, full disclosure, I don't exactly know what validating your NIN means, because I am yet to do it. The whole process just seemed a bit tricky for me, because if I'm registering it so that I can use it for things. So if you do not validate it for me, and you expect me to tell you to validate it, it doesn't make sense, which is why, again, I would recommend that you go to the local government area and do it, so that they will do everything for you at once. But make sure when you're registering, you ask the person whether they have validated it for you as well, so that you don't run into the problems that I ran into, because even as of now, I've not been able to open a bank account because my NIN is not validated. Now, I know it's pretty easy to just go and validate it, but I have been procrastinating and haven't done it yet. So don't be like me. When you're registering it, please make sure that the person also validates it for you, so that you can use it for whatever you need. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, very quick and easy. And there you have it. You have your NIN, you can use it to do whatever you want. Let me know if you have any other suggestions, any other topics that you'd like me to cover about life in Nigeria, moving to Nigeria, getting married in Nigeria. Please feel free to let me know in the comment section below, or you can send me an email or reach out to me on Twitter or on Instagram. These are my handles. I'm always happy to assist, always happy to share information and make life easier for you. It's always a pleasure when you guys reach out and chat me up and tell me all about the things you want to tell me. I'm always looking forward to it. So reach out to me in case you have any questions. As always, I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hi, my name is Laura. Anyone from age 0 to whatever age is the fine. Anyone foreigners residing in Nigeria for a total of 2 years foreigners residing in Nigeria for a total of foreigners residing in Nigeria. Bye.